In this video, I'm going to show you how you can leverage the power of AI automation to analyze real estate transactions. Now, I personally created this automation to analyze deals in markets that I'm interested in so that I can find profitable rental properties. Now, I created this with the intention of only using it for myself, but it was just so good that I ended up actually selling this AI automation to realtors and other investors, which made me $5,000 passively, but it also allowed me last month to put down an offer on a 4-unit rental property that is going to increase my cash flow every single year by $46,000. Now, finding this deal was 100% because I put together this AI automation tool that is going to analyze every single deal that comes across our table and decide if it's a good purchase or not. Now, if you've invested in real estate, you know that analyzing deals takes a lot of time. Finding out the cap rate, looking at risks associated with the market, on and on and on. You know that this is your biggest time sink, but if you don't do it correctly, you are going to buy a bad deal. And a bad deal is the worst thing when you're a real estate investor. And this tool is going to alleviate the time investment that you have to do to analyze deals and give you a really clear yes or no. This is a good deal or it's a bad deal. Or as I like to say, it's a buy or it's a buy. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you how to do that from start to finish. And I'm not here to waste your time. So if you want to like and subscribe, that would be cool. So let me show you what I did. The first thing that I did was I created a tally intake form. This is where we're going to collect all the information about the property that we are trying to analyze. I have tally linked down here in the description. It is free to use. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through the tally form from the customer facing perspective so you can get a good idea of what we're actually doing here. So the property type, we're having a drop down menu. It is a multifamily. All right, the country we are trying to analyze is Canada. The state or the province, in my case, is New Brunswick. The city would be Moncton, and the property address is 100 Mountain Road. The number of units in this building is going to be 6. I'm making this up, but you're going to pull all of this information from the listing you are analyzing. The square footage is 5,000. The year it was built was 1989. The purchase price is going to be $560,000. We're going to be putting 20% down. Also, I want to highlight the fact that we are entering why it's important. So if you are going to turn around and try to sell this to people who work in real estate or people who are new to real estate investing, adding a lot of context to our tally form is going to help them understand their industry better. The mortgage interest rate we're going to say is 4.5%. We're going to take the loan for 25 years or 30, that's possible. Monthly rental income, let's say it's $7,800 or $7,900, doesn't matter. Vacancy rate will calculate at 5%, which is pretty standard. Other income sources, so maybe there's laundry, maybe there's parking, maybe there's storage, okay? Maybe you charge a pet fee, I don't know. So let's say that there's laundry and the annual amount we bring in from laundry is $500. Okay, property taxes we'll say are $9,000 and our insurance on an annual basis is $2,400. Great. Maintenance and repairs. So let's say we do about $1,500 in maintenance and repairs. Property management fees. We're going to self-manage this one. Of course, these numbers, I'm just coming up with them on the top of my head. And you, when you are analyzing your property deals, are going to get this information from the realtor or from the income and expenses report from the seller, or just what you know about the market around you. Now, we're going to have landscaping and snow removal at $800 a year. Capital expenditure. So a capital expenditure is basically what you anticipate doing in renovations for this project. So say because it's a little bit older, we expect to spend $15,000 on that. So when you're investing in a real estate transaction, you're looking long term. So what is this property going to sell at later in the future? So the holding period, let's say we're going to hold it for 15 years. Inflation on average is about 3%. The appreciation rate, so what is the historical appreciation in your area? That's going to vary based on where you're from, but let's just say it's 5%. Okay, and then the final thing we're going to do is put in our name and our email. So I'm going to hit submit, and then we're going to wait in real time to see how long this is going to take to send me a report based on my input. Here it is. So it is ready. Every single detail that you need to know about a real estate transaction is going to be in this report, and all you had to do was fill out the tally form that we just did together. So let's go see what it looks like. All right, so here it is in my inbox, and great. So here is what we have put together. This all happened in real time while I was talking to you. Okay, so it's for Erin, and it's prepared by Erin. The date is today. Hi, Erin. Thank you for allowing us to analyze this investment opportunity. We've crunched the numbers for you, and in this report, key metrics, insight, recommendations for multifamily property at 100 Mountain Road in Moncton, Canada. All right, so here's the property overview. Key details. It has 6 units. Here's the address, the purchase price, the down payment, the loan amount, the interest rate, the loan term, and the closing costs. So it's estimated the closing costs for us, which is really important when you're going to buy a property because sometimes people forget to factor that into how much cash they actually have to put down. Next, property insights. This property was built in 1989. It's centrally located in Moncton, a growing area with increased rental demand. Homes built in this era are typically well built, but some key risks to consider include. So it has taken the location of the property and the year that it was built and analyzed some risks associated with it, while also giving us a little bit of information about the area. Cool. Older electrical systems, knob and tube wiring could be insufficient for grounding. That's good to know. Possible non-compliance with modern safety fire codes. That's also good to know. Potential exterior maintenance requirements, aging windows and siding, HVAC systems nearing the end of their lifespan if they haven't been updated. So that's all really important when we're trying to consider if we should buy this property or not. We recommend a detailed inspection and focusing on these areas to ensure safety standards are met to avoid unforeseen costs. Great. This is our budget breakdown for the month. So it's giving us our monthly cash flow, which is really good for this area. So financial metrics, your net operating income is $64,000 a year. Your cap rate, 11.55. That's really high. Cash on cash return, 25%. So this is how much money we had to put down versus what we're going to get as a return. Amazing, 25%. So gross rent multiplier, 5.91. Debt service coverage ratio is a 2.2. Cash flow, monthly, this will be our cash flow before taxes. Annual cash flow, $35,000. So we know that if we bought this property at the metrics that we put into our tally form, so that purchase price, that mortgage rate, we're going to add $35,000 to our annual income. Crazy. After tax cash flow, so it assumes a 20%, so $28,000. So that's your actual cash return. Future value and exit strategy. Future value in 15 years at a 3% annual appreciation, so $871,000. If we held on to this property for 15 years, we would be able to sell it maybe at $871,000. The remaining loan balance after 15 years would be $244,000, meaning that our net proceeds after our 5% selling costs would be $583,000. This is really clear information that is so helpful when trying to determine if you should buy a building or not. Okay, so its final recommendation is we should buy this one, guys. So with its strong cash flow, impressive cash rates, solid appreciation potential, and strong performance under different scenarios, this property is a fantastic investment opportunity. Moncton's rental market continues to grow, making this a smart long-term addition to your portfolio. So then it says there's a disclaimer and move forward with this property. So I don't know, you guys, isn't this absolutely impressive? The amount of value in this report is astounding. Now, I am a real estate investor myself, and I have put together these reports, and it has taken me hours and hours and hours and hours to do. And this was all completed in less than a minute. In less than a minute. So I'm going to show you how you can create this automation for yourself or so that you can create it to sell it to other people. Let's get into that part. First and foremost, we have to create the interface that will receive all of the information about the property. Now, I use a program called Tally to do this. It is linked in the description and it is free and it's very user friendly. So here is what I did. You are going to give it a name, which is easy. You can just change the name to whatever you want here. Calculator. Okay, and then the very first question you're going to need is the property type. So what type of property is it? Single family, commercial, multifamily? You can create different types of questions. So I'm just going to show you what that looks like. We can just go here, click, so we can do a short answer, long answer, multiple choice, check boxes, drop down, multi-select. So you can personalize this to be any type of questions that you want. If you're a realtor, maybe you might want to include, are you working with a realtor in this form, or collect their phone number so you can maybe give them a call after they fill it out. And you could use this tally form and put it in your link in bio so that you can direct traffic to it for your prospective clients. But if we're just going to be using it for our personal use to analyze real estate transactions, you don't need any of that. So Property type, that's important. The country is going to help us analyze the local market. So we have to include that. So state, city, property address, number of units, that's important to know for our calculations, square footage, the year it's built, purchase price, down payment amount, mortgage interest rates, loan term, monthly rental income, vacancy rate, other income sources, other income amount, property taxes, insurance, maintenance and repairs, property maintenance fees. So if there is a fee for property management, heat, lights, water bill, all the bills that could be potentially associated with this deal. Capital expenditure. So how much do they expect to spend in the future on repairs? This is going to help us with that long-term projection that I showed you earlier. Exit strategy. So how long are they going to hold the property? Inflation rate, appreciation rate, and then finally their email. So you are going to have to create this tally form in order for this AI to work. So after you've created your tally form, you are going to go over to a program called Make.com. Now, if you're not familiar with Make.com, it is a program that allows you to input a bunch of different websites and tools and put them all together to create an action. And this is where the automation magic happens. So the customer is going to fill out the tally form, or you're going to fill out the tally form about the property, and then Make.com is going to facilitate the rest of the automations in Make.com. Now, if you've never used Make.com, I have it linked down here in the description so you can get started for free. So I'm going to show you how to set this up. This is what it'll look like when it is finally completed. So once you're in Make.com, you're going to go to create a new scenario. And in here, you're going to have what we call modules. Your very first module is going to be the trigger event. So if somebody fills out the tally form, that is going to trigger your event to happen. So the first one we're going to put in here is tally. So watch for new responses is what you want to choose. You're going to select your webhook. So you have attached your tally account to your Make.com account. It's just a matter of giving it authorization. You're going to hit add, and then the form ID is going to be the name of the form that you just created in Tally. So save that. Great. So save that. So the next module that you're going to need is ChatGPT. Now, if you've never attached your ChatGPT to Make.com, you are going to need to find your API key, and I do have a full tutorial on how to do that in the description. So you're going to select create a completion. Within this ChatGPT module, there are going to be a couple different options that you can select. First being the model. The model is 4.0. That's going to be good enough to accomplish what we are trying to do. The next question is going to be messages. We're going to select add a message. The role will be user, and here under text content is where you're going to put your prompt. Now, the purpose of this ChatGPT module is to create the mathematical equations that are going to be required to calculate our cap rate, our cash on cash return, our NOI, and everything else that's relevant to calculating a real estate transaction. So here is the prompt that we're going to need in this module. Now, this prompt is an absolute monster. It took me ages to perfect it so that it would work in this AI automation, and I'm not going to put you through the hassle of doing any of that because I have this prompt linked down here in the description for you. So we're going to copy and paste it, and then we'll go back to Make.com, and under text content, we are going to simply paste it. This is going to be where we personalize this so that it has the actual data for each individual deal to be input into this prompt. So as you can see here on the side, all of the input metrics that we put into our tally form are now populating in Make.com, and this is going to allow us to personalize these prompts. So we're going to actually just simply go through and see in our prompt, I have listed property type. So we are going to go over here to our tally input form and say property type. Then you'll do the same for country, city, property address. Basically every single one of these metrics are going to be included in this prompt. And this is what allows ChatGPT to find the unique data for each deal that you're trying to analyze and put it into its prompt. So you'll go through and fill out all of these in your Make.com scenario. I'm going to move on to the next step because this is a little bit time consuming because there are so many fields. But just remember, all of the fields are going to be here, and you're simply just inputting them into the prompt here. The next module is also going to be a ChatGPT module, but it's going to have a different job. So the very first one that we installed here, its job was to analyze the raw data based on the property that you input in your tally field and create the calculations that are necessary to analyze the deal. Now, the next ChatGPT module is going to be responsible for composing an overall report based on the calculation that we did over here. Now, I could have input this calculation and compose report into the same prompt, but I find that if you give ChatGPT one specific job at a time, you're going to get a more thorough output. So here's how we program this one. It's essentially the same setup as the module before it, except this time we'll have a different prompt, which I have already created for you, and it is in the description below. So we're going to use system 40. We're going to input the user, and then here is our prompt. Now, again, we're going to have to pre-populate this prompt to be specific to this deal. So you're going to have to go through and input all of the details that we collected over here in the tally form. So this gives the Composer Report GPT the context that's required to make it really specific. Now, again, this is a monster prompt. I spent a ton of time using the things that I know about real estate investing and prompt engineering to create this prompt that is going to allow for this transaction to be analyzed. So I've put that in the description to save you the time and the headache. Okay, so moving on, your next module is also going to be a ChatGPT module. The next two modules are very straightforward. Ultimately, we have done the heavy lifting over here by calculating the deal and then composing the report. Next, we're going to get a ChatGPT module to convert the report into HTML format. Now, HTML format is what's going to give us that nice breakdown that you see in the report. So the different sections, the green and the blues and the bolds and the italics that make it readable for a human being. So we're just going to simply create our ChatGPT module like we have done before. This ChatGPT module's job is to change the formatting into HTML, which is good for email. Now we're going to say, convert the following property investment analysis report into a clean professional HTML format suitable for email. So we're going to want to go to the ChatGPT module before this, the one that composed the report, and we're going to select result. This is going to transfer into the HTML format, and we do have some specifics for the final output. So client name and property address. That will just help the client, if they're going to analyze multiple deals, have them sorted in a way that's easy for them to find. So we're going to hit save, and that'll be complete. Now, the final module is simply the Gmail module. You will have to attach your Gmail account to your Make.com, and we are going to select their email address, which we can find in the original tally form, and we're going to input their email address. So email address to send. We're going to give it a subject name. So this is going to be the subject of the email. So I like to say your real estate analysis for the property address. Again, this will make it easier if you're going to analyze a lot of deals. You'll just be able to go to your Gmail account and type in the address that you're looking for the analysis, and you can pull that up in your email at any time that you might need it. And then again, you can just forward it, maybe say to your mortgage broker or your business partner. And it's all just going to be right there in your email. Easy peasy. So then the content is going to be the result of the converted HTML. You're going to hit results. Okay, automation is complete. Every single time that you fill out this form about a deal you want to analyze, you are going to be given an email report that looks exactly like this. Now, you input the information into the form, and this is going to get emailed to you within a matter of seconds or maybe a minute. So all the information in here is absolutely imperative to making a good decision about purchasing a real estate investment. So this is so valuable that it also has the capacity to become a product in and of itself that can make you passive income as a digital product that you can sell. So I'm going to show you how you can set it up to be something that you could sell to real estate investors or realtors. So in this section, I'm going to show you how I took this AI automation that we just created together to analyze a property and turn it into a digital product that makes me money passively. Now, the value that is provided in that final report report is so major that people who work in real estate or want to invest in properties are going to be willing to give you money just to access it. Now, here is how I market it. You can see here I have created a series on my social media where I discuss if this is a buy or a buy. I think that's clever. So here's just a short form piece of content where I am going through the process of analyzing a real estate deal using our AI automation. And in here, I'm going to tell people that if they want access to the form, they have to go to the link in bio. In my link in bio, you can see it here. This is where they're going to land. And I have down here the real estate spreadsheet, the buy or buy real estate spreadsheet. When you click here, it's going to take them to a form. And here in this form, I'm first and foremost going to collect their email. Now, if I have the other digital products that I think could be helpful for them, collecting their email is going to be allowing me to continue to market to them in the future. So after they've given us our email, they are going to be sent to a product page. And this product page is going to be our Shopify store where they can add this to their cart and literally pay us. So what we've done here is we've collected their information so we can continue to market to them. And then we are going to send them to a paywall before they can actually access our tally form. So this is what it looks like on the back end. We are going to set up in our Shopify store a product. So the product is a real estate investment calculator, become a real estate expert. We're going to set our price. I find under $20 is a fair price for something that offers so much value that they can continuously use over and over. Now, Shopify store, you might think, doesn't Shopify actually have to deliver products? No, they can actually also be used to deliver digital products, but you will have to add an app to your store. Now, the app that you have to add is called FileMonk. Every single time somebody checks out and buys your digital product, it is going to be the system that literally delivers it to them. So here under our digital products, you can see I have a real estate calculator. This real estate calculator is as simple as delivering a link. So we can open it and I'll show you what it looks like. Here is the link that they'll be delivered. Now this must look familiar to you because it is our tally form. So now you've created a digital product that is going to give you passive income. Now remember guys, these type of AI automations can still make errors. These large language models like ChatGPT are not foolproof. Now, these reports are extremely detailed and 99% of the time you're going to get A1 information, but don't forget to do your own due diligence, of course. Now, in a few minutes, I was able to show you how to create an AI automation that is going to make you a better real estate investor. And I was also able to take it a few steps further and show you how you can create an extremely powerful lead magnet that is going to make your ideal clients give you their emails. And it is so powerful. I think that charging money to access it is completely viable. And in fact, I've even tested it myself and made $5,000. That's all I have for you today. If you want to like and subscribe to my channel, I'd really appreciate it. Did you try this automation? Did you get stuck anywhere? Leave a comment and maybe I can help you through it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.